How to lower your A1C and ferritin 35% in 5 weeks. That's what we're going to talk about today. My name is Dr. Thomas Rofrano from the Natural Medicine Clinic in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. I've had the opportunity to see over 100,000 patient visits over the last 37 years, many of whom have gotten thyroid issues and often ferritin abnormalities. So today, I'm going to talk about a patient, 60-year-old male who came in with gut symptoms, fatigue, skin issues, lack of memory, concentration. He was overweight, high blood pressure. He was diagnosed with diabetes 2 years ago. So he wanted help with all of this. Did an evaluation, recommended specific diet and supplements. The end result was after 5 weeks when we did an initial follow-up test, he had improved his A1C from 8.6 to 5.6 and his glucose from 174 to 80 in just 5 weeks. So his A1C improved 35% and his ferritin improved also 38%, about the same amount, from 204 to 131. And this is while he was eating beef and taking vitamin C. So you can still lower your ferritin when you're doing those things. So ferritin of 204 is not above the range. Doctors will say, oh, 400 is okay, 500, even up to 1,000. Don't worry about it until it's over 1,000. We'll really know. Optimal is 50 to 80 approximately. So keep that in mind. His inflammation decreased by over 50% in those 5 weeks, down to close to optimal levels. And his kidney, liver function markers improved. Adrenal function improved. One thing, though, that did go up was his testosterone. So he had 285 testosterone, went up almost 200 points in those 5 weeks. That's without taking any hormone replacement. That's what happens when you start to get the body in a healthy state and you start to optimize other things. And he said in the first 6 weeks he had dropped 30 pounds. At the same time, while his A1C and glucose dropped dramatically, he was able to decrease his medication, his diabetes medication, by 50%. So how did we accomplish this? Well, the first step is getting the proper testing. So a comprehensive health panel is what you want to start with. That includes a CBC, chemistry panel, lipids, TSH. So this is what your doctor typically will order. Beyond that, what's very important to see is ferritin, iron, TIBC, and saturation. CRP, GGT, LDH, this checks for inflammation, liver function, insulin, A1C, uric acid, and then thyroid, besides TSH, free T3, free T4, TPO, and thyroglobulin antibodies. And then adrenal function, DHEA, cortisol, other hormones, testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, IGF-1, SHBG, and homocysteine. This is on page 104 in my book, or you can just take a screenshot and look at it right here. So this tells you what is wrong. And I like to do functional lab tests, which tell you the underlying root causes. So I test for deficiencies, toxins, infections, hormonal imbalance, and food reactions. For instance, in this patient, he had multiple deficiencies, toxins. He had above optimal levels of mercury, infections, candida, yeast overgrowth, which is a common thing I see, hormonal imbalance, adrenal dysfunction, and the low testosterone that we talked about. And food reactions, well, gluten, he had celiac genetics, and gluten sensitivity, as well as leaky gut. So once we find out the root causes, the treatment is diet, supplements, and I use an anti-inflammatory diet called the free diet that I came up with years ago when I was figuring out how to clear up my own issues. I had autoimmune thyroid, Hashimoto's, rheumatoid, IBS, fatigue, skin issues, all kinds of things going on. So in the process, came up with an anti-inflammatory diet I call it the free diet because it's free of not only gluten, but gluten grains, sugar, yeast, dairy, eggs, soy legumes, nightshades, processed foods, all those foods most commonly responsible for inflammation, digestive, and other chronic health issues. And if you want, I'll put a link below, a copy of the free diet phase 1 food chart. So that was number 1, the diet. Second, the supplements. I use what I call the functional 5, which most everyone I find needs, which is multi-fish oil, D3 with K, magnesium, probiotic, and for him, curcumin, cardiometabolics to support healthy inflammation and blood sugar. The cardiometabolics has berberine, alpha-lipoic acid, resveratrol with quercetin, and then nutrients for the various deficiencies he had, including vitamin C. Again, he took vitamin C, he ate beef, his ferritin still went down like 38% in 5 weeks. So gut support, liver support, adrenal support I used for him because those were off. So I give this patient a lot of credit. He was very consistent with the diet and supplements. He stuck with it, showed tremendous improvement. His energy, his digestion, his skin, a lot of improvements in his blood markers, as you could see, just in those first 5 weeks. And I believe no matter what's going on with you, if you find out the root causes and are provided the right solutions, that almost anyone can get better. Thanks for joining me today. I'll put the free diet phase 1 food chart link below. Feel free to like and subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.